Hi, this is Doug Johnson with JesusHasAPlan.com. We're very happy and excited that you've stopped by, and thanks for letting us spend a few minutes with you on this video talking about our most favorite subject, that is Jesus. Today we have just finished chapter 9, and we're moving now into Matthew chapter 10. And there's a passage here that talks about Jesus sending out his disciples. Let me read this to you. Let's start with Matthew chapter 10, verse 1. Then after he summoned the 12 disciples, there were far more than that, hundreds of people following him, but this was his inner circle, his management team. These were the guys that Jesus really spent his time with. He summoned the 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits, so that they would be able to cast them out and heal every disease and every sickness. And the names of these 12 apostles were these. First there was Simon, the one called Peter, and Andrew his brother, and then James, the son of Zebedee, and John his brother. That was John the Beloved. He wrote the book of the Gospel of John, the letters, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, and also the book of Revelation, the very last book of the Bible. Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas is the one that we call Thomas the Doubter. He was the one that didn't believe that Jesus actually rose from the dead. We'll talk about that towards the end of Matthew. Matthew the tax collector. Matthew's the guy that wrote this book. James the son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus. Simon the Zealot. Judas Iscariot, the one who gave Jesus over to the Jews. So Jesus is going to send these guys out to talk to various churches. So Jesus, verse 10, Matthew chapter 10, verse 5. Jesus sent these 12 after he commanded them, saying, on the way, do not go to the heathen. And this was not a missions trip. These guys were being sent to the cities, to the community of Israel. Do not enter a Samaritan city. That were those that were close to Israel, part Jewish, part not Jewish. They weren't included in this missionary effort. These guys went to the children of Israel first. Don't go to a Samaritan city, but you must rather go regularly to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This is what I'm talking about. And while you are going, you must preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven has come near you. You must continually heal the sickness and raise the dead and cleanse lepers. That was a very difficult disease. We've talked about that before. Cast out demons. And cast out demons. You took freely, and now you must give freely. Jesus gave to them. Now they are to give to those around about them. Verse 9. And you can acquire neither gold nor silver nor copper in your belts. Don't take anything with you. Don't take a knapsack for the way. Don't take an extra sandwich, so to speak. Nor 2 tunics, or extra sandals, nor a staff. For the worker is worthy of his food. In other words, these that are going to be part of the ministry that the disciples are part of, those are the ones that are to support those that are preaching to them. So let's go on. Verse 11. Whatever city or town you would enter, you must at once examine or determine who in it is worthy, and remain there. Don't go from house to house. Just go one place and stay there. And in that house, stay there until you would leave. And when you enter the house, you must immediately greet it and give your peace. If it's worthy, it will stay there. If it's unworthy, it will come back to you. If it's in verse 11 and verse 13, it says, and if the house would be worthy, your peace must come upon it. But if it's not worthy, your peace must return to you, and whatever would not take you in and would not listen to your message, whoever's not going to listen to what you're saying, when you come in outside the house or the city, you must right away shake off the dirt, the dust, from your feet. Truly I say to you, and this is the verse I was headed for, truly I say to you, it will be more bearable in the region of Sodom and Gomorrah on Judgment Day than in these cities. So here's the scenario in these verses that we've just read. Jesus is sending the disciples out. He's telling them not to plan ahead, so to speak, and take things with them, but rather, as they go, they're working, and those that they minister to should support their ministry. The second thing is when they come into this city or home, they are to put a blessing, God's peace, in that home, in that city. Now, if that city or that home choose not to listen to the message of the gospel, then when they leave that home or that city, they're supposed to shake the dust off of their garments. And then Jesus says it will be more bearable for Sodom and Gomorrah on Judgment Day than for those cities that or homes that have rejected the gospel. This is a very serious comment. You know, God has given us our whole life to hopefully come to Him. The Bible says it is not His will that any of us perish, that is, go to hell. But rather, He sent His Son so to come to earth, to live, to die in our place on the cross, but even more importantly, to raise from the dead so that we could be reconciled back to God. You know, the whole purpose of us sitting around these scriptures and talking about them, talking about Jesus, is to challenge you to give your life, to yield to God and let Him be the Lord of your life. You know, there's a link right below this video that talks about how to do that. I would hope that today you would go to that video and learn how to be a friend of Jesus. This is Doug Johnson with JesusHasAPlan.com. Go there today.